Welcome back. I am the Executioner, and today we are going to be talking about the riots this week. Now, the riots have been going on for about a week. Now, the riots pertain to the death of George Floyd. Mr. Floyd was detained by police for using a $20 bill, and Officer Chauvin pressed his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck, and for about 8 minutes, Mr. Floyd suffered, and he tragically died. 4 officers stood by while Officer Chauvin was abusing power, and did not do anything to stop Officer Chauvin. Chauvin has now been detained and arrested and booked in a county jail and is awaiting trial. Peaceful protests have sprouted all over the country, but the problem is the peaceful protesters seem to be outnumbered by the rioters. The rioters have seen this as an opportunistic event to rob and steal from private property owners. Some police stations have been targeted, but the majority of the rioting has been targeted towards private businesses. This has led many private citizens to arm themselves and guard their businesses, including a cigar shop where the owner took matters into his own hands and pointed a gun at the looters and managed to scare them off. There have been some people who have been unsuccessful and have been beaten down by these thieves. In a time of chaos, we must not resort to violence. The fact of the matter is, violence discredits the movement. It discredits the movement for not only racial equality, but it discredits the movement for freedom. And the fact is, if we are to hold people accountable for what they do, we cannot resort to violence. We cannot resort to that sort of thing because it brings a lot of bad light to it. If the media is focusing on the rioters, and the American people are focusing on the rioters for good reason, because when you have rioters burning down private businesses and private property, people are going to worry about that more than the actual protesters. And it steals attention away from the peaceful protesters, and violence is not the way to solve this. A lot of my contemporaries think this is justified, the rioting. I think not. Destroying private property goes against the NAP. It goes against the NAP, it goes against freedom, and it goes against libertarianism. Anybody who thinks these riots are justified is not a libertarian. They do not support private property rights whatsoever, because the fact of the matter is, they would recognize that the violent use of force on these businesses that had nothing to do with it is an injustice. Some can argue it could be a larger injustice than what happened to Mr. Floyd, but I do not maintain that opinion. But the fact of the matter is, Mr. Floyd's memory should not be tarnished by these riots. That was my news report for June 1st, 2020. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Stay safe. And if you are attending these protests, make sure that you are not engaging in any rioting, looting, stealing, or any violence. Thank you very much, and have a good day.